Hey guys, I'm Orlando and welcome to Conversations with Neoseven. On this show, I will be chatting with professionals from different industries and getting their advice and expertise on a range of different topics, from health and well-being, environmental sustainability, diversity in media, food and lifestyle, and much more. Hi, I'm Orlando and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Neoseven. Do you have any friends or family members who are living with a disability, recovering from an illness, or trying to cope with grief or low self-esteem? Well, I have met two brilliant women who have dedicated their lives to working with individuals who need that extra support and provide a creative route to self-discovery, learning, personal development, and help enrich their lives and general well-being. Nicky, Maria, welcome.
Thank you so much. So I'm Maria.
And I'm Nicky.
And together we've created Cathartic CIC.
So what does cathartic mean, and what do you guys do? What does cathartic do?
Yeah, so the word itself, it kind of combines both things that we love. So we chose cathartic because having some catharsis is the ability to express your emotions through an outlet, and it also has the word art in it, and that's the medium that we felt could help people. So through creativity and art, that they could actually have a channel of communication that perhaps they didn't experience before.
Okay. What type of people do you work with?
We work with an absolutely massive variety of people.
We should start with how old our youngest client is.
I was just going to say, our youngest client is 6 months old, and
wow.
Our eldest is 103 years old. So
103.
Massive age difference, and obviously many different reasons that we're working with them. We work a lot with young people with SEND, special educational needs and disabilities. Those kind of disabilities and needs are things like autism, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, we also work a lot with people with visual impairments or who are registered blind as well. We've got people that we work with that have a brain damage through brain injury, and we also work with people with muscular dystrophy, and on that is they're very severe medical conditions. A lot of our clients have very severe medical conditions.
I think there's probably not many syndromes that we haven't heard of or worked with.
And also we work with people at end of life now, so people that have a terminal illness. So we work with people that are either in a hospice or are working with a hospice, and we work with people living with dementia. So that's elderly people, but also people that have been diagnosed in their 40s or 50s. So that's young onset dementia. And there's actually
a wide variety, isn't it?
Yeah. There's actually 800 people in Hertfordshire that have a diagnosis before they're 65 years of age, and also people that are generally isolated as well. Isolation is something that we have come across, so much across all these ages that we work with, from the young children all the way through to the elderly. So
also vulnerable families we work with.
In Hertfordshire, where exactly are you located? And do all your programs happen where you're based, or do you go out to meet people in their home?
So in answer to your question, we go all over Hertfordshire. Our office is actually based in Watford, but we are Hertfordshire wide.
Yeah.
Which we're very proud of, but it's also, we just take all of our stuff and we go to people.
Gotcha. And is it limited to Hertfordshire, or would you like to go beyond?
Currently, it is just Hertfordshire, but
when there's a few more of us,
at the moment, because there's just the two of us, we are kind of limited, I think, to sort of staying reasonably locally.
Yeah.
No, with so many different people with different needs, right? What goes into designing your programs? Because I'm assuming each program has to be specific to that particular individual or the particular need.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the programs are all designed and take into account people's needs, their abilities, and also their interests. So we would look at those first of all.
The thing that we pride ourselves on is that all of our programs are bespoke to that individual or to that group. So we don't have a set program that will run across everybody, because it's not everyone will be interested in everything. So what we tend to do is, as Nicky said, we evaluate who we're working with, and once we tap into interest, we find that that's the magic with people, because if you can get people passionate, it's a snowball effect, isn't it? It the positivity ekes out into every aspect of their life once they've found something they're super passionate about. So yeah, we generally in terms of putting together our programs, it is just by individual basis. We have structural programs, so we do group sessions, but we also do 2-to-1 sessions. That's with people who are not ready to be in a group environment and perhaps need a little bit more nurturing encouragement before we can kind of introduce them into a group setting. So it's a bit more focused just on them.
I mean, we also pride ourselves on the fact that we are really good at adapting every kind of activity that everyone can achieve.
Yeah, we adapt materials, we adapt equipment. I'll give you an example. We run a holiday arts workshop, so that's for young people with special educational needs and disabilities as well. So we have such a range in that group. We have young people who have brain injuries, so they are non-verbal and very limited cognitive skills, all the way through to children who are completely blind. But what we pride ourselves on is that every single child will do the same activity, but we'll just make sure that all their equipment is adapted so that they can achieve. So there's no child that sat there thinking, oh, I'm not doing this because I don't have sight, or I'm not doing this because, you know, I can't use my hands. We'll make sure that everyone's doing the same thing. So it builds that sort of group connection, but we have to come up with new ways all the time.
Yeah. What kind of progress have you seen from, let's say, the time they've started with you to today?
The main aim of what we do is to improve people's confidence and self-esteem. That actually will improve their overall happiness. And we found when you do that, the positive effects eke out into every aspect of life. So I'd say that
it's like sort of communication skills. We've noticed a massive difference in the way some of our clients are able to communicate. When we first start working with them, they can often be quite shy and not really speak very much. But I think we see a massive improvement in those communication skills as their confidence builds, and also positive relationships.
And we've seen this effect actually, that it does build on positive relationships, because our clients are really proud of things that they make. There's a new talking point that they have with people. So where before they may find it difficult to make conversation, they could show someone what they've made, and that's a really good connection that people make. For people that struggle with their communication, having something tangible that they can talk about is really, really important. And even for clients that we work with that are non-verbal, we can just they build up really extraordinary communication skills with us, and that develops as well, and also that feeling of being included then also helps them to want to communicate more with other people around them. So communication is definitely a big one. Confidence, obviously, confidence builds because when someone can achieve.
Obviously, this is all great stuff for the individuals themselves. My opinion is that their families will also benefit from, what you're doing with them. What kind of feedback have you received from the families for the support and the stuff you've done with these individuals?
Yeah, quite a lot of very positive support. I think one of the big areas is respite. When we're working particularly with the 2-to-1, we're obviously able to give personal care as well. So it does actually give respite to parents and carers.
When we came up with the concept of what we were doing, we decided from our past experience of being able to offer personal care to the students that we worked with at school, school, that would also be part of our service, because a lot of the time when someone's personal care needs are quite significant, they often may have to bring a carer or parent along, and therefore it doesn't actually offer that full respite, whereas we actually offer that within our service. So anyone that comes to see us, we are also able to help them with medication, with assistance in their personal care. So I think that's a massive benefit to families and partners. The respite.
The people who take part in our programs, because they enjoy it so much, it really kind of reflects back to the family as well, because they're so desperate to share what they've done with the people that they love.
Definitely. And I think also we find that partners, particularly if we're working with clients who have a husband or a wife, they're really keen to join in the session as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's equally as important, especially for people that we know are at end of life, or have life-limiting conditions, or have mental health conditions like dementia, where a lot of the time you lose the person that you once fell in love with, or you lose a parent. That time to actually do something fun, to do something stimulating, that is so valuable for families, to have those memories and to build those legacies, really.
Yeah.
And how would they find you? So if someone has a family member or friend who is, let's just use end of life, that is it's at that stage, how will they find you and get in touch and try and get on the program?
It's a really good point. Well, we actually have on our website a contact form. So that's a referral form where either people can refer themselves or their loved one or their person that they work with. So that's one way. We generally work a lot with social services. So a lot of the time social workers will refer people straight to our service. So that's how a lot of the time we end up meeting people. But also through we also work in partnership with Home Start, Age UK. There's we on our website there's the list of organisations that we work in collaboration with, and often they would contact us with referrals.
What are the biggest challenges that you've faced so far on this journey, and how have you overcome them?
Our first major challenge was actually starting Cathartic up. We left our jobs with
nothing.
Absolutely nothing. We had no connection, so we literally started from scratch.
I think we had a Gmail account and that's it.
Yeah. Obviously this year, like many people, we faced the challenge of lockdown. Obviously working so closely with the people that we do, it was very difficult for us to continue face to face. So we made some massive adaptations, and we managed to keep in touch with all of our service users
every day
throughout lockdown. Every single day we were writing emails, we were doing Zoom calls,
letters.
We had letter writing.
Because the thing that we had to think about is that not everyone had access to communication, Zoom or a mobile phone with a camera.
Amazing. So is quite a lot of what the work that you do visible on your website, so people can go on and have a look and find out more about what you do?
Yes, I think it's pretty comprehensive. It will list all our services,
and also videos. We have videos on there as well, so you can actually hear from some of our lovely service users as well about the work that they're doing with us.
And if people want to, like, their businesses that want to support what you're doing, how can they go about doing that?
In terms of supporting the organisation?
Supporting the organisation.
Well, yes. So everything we do, we rely on public funding. So we apply for funding all the time to launch new programmes. And touch wood, we've been very lucky that we've successfully done that. But we also do have a fund page that is on our website, and that enables us to actually put on more sessions for different groups, to start up new initiatives, as we say. So we've recently started the bereavement program, which we're starting to run. But also very kindly we worked with a lovely young lady who very sadly passed away a few weeks ago now, at age 14, of brain cancer, and we had some fantastic times with her, and her family have very kindly chosen Cathartic as one of the charities in Grace's memory. So they've set up a fund page as well for us, which is just absolutely wonderful, and that's going to be working with families who are affected by terminal cancer. So that is also on our website as well, and it's very kind of the family.
Now, there's a lot that you guys are doing. There are similar businesses like yourselves that offer these similar sort of support. Do you think enough is being done to support individuals with these types of needs?
I don't think there ever will be enough being done, because there are just so many people out there who need help and support. And I feel particularly this year has thrown so many challenges in people's direction, and I think mental health will be something that will be affected massively. And for the foreseeable future, we see people's mental health conditions will have really deteriorated over this year. I think the full extent of it, I don't think has even been realised yet.
No,
so.
I absolutely agree with Nicky. I think I have to say that I think as a country we do offer a lot of support for people, but obviously there are improvements that could be made. So I think that that there are people that unfortunately do slip through the net, and that's the sort of people that Nicky and I try to encourage along to sessions, because I think there is our amazing social services, but unfortunately if you're not connected to them, then there may be a chance that you can slip through the net and not access any services perhaps that would really benefit your overall health and well-being. I think there is lots out there, and as Nicky rightly said, definitely more that can be done. So that's what our mission is when you said about, is it Hertfordshire, what is Hertfordshire wide and could we extend it out? We'd love to be able to work across the country, because we know there's so many people that would benefit. So I think in terms of what could be done, I think even if all of us just took 2 minutes out of the day just to say hello to someone perhaps that might benefit from that, it just really has an extraordinary effect.
We've been introduced to more and more organisations, and there's kind of like a little networking community, and I think that's actually very important.
It's wonderful, because we're able to cross-refer, really. So if we felt that we were working with someone that we also know would benefit from this organisation, we're able, and doing that, connecting the dots is really important in getting more people involved, and also accessing things within our local area. That's what our mission is with other organizations, to connect the dots a bit more and keep referring. There is a term called social prescribing and social navigating, so we're part of that, where GP practices but also other healthcare professionals can actually signpost people to more holistic approaches. So rather than going down a medical route, if they feel it is their confidence that needs working on, they can be referred to us.
Yes. What advice would you give the family members who are living with people who are suffering from mental illness or disabilities? All the things that you guys actually provide great support for. What advice would you give to them?
Okay, firstly, there's definitely should be no stigma against anything that anyone is dealing with, because I think a lot of people we speak to feel very isolated by their circumstance, and it's as soon as they start speaking they realize there is so many more people that are also having a similar situation, and I think that immediately combats that feeling of loneliness that you get when you're tackling something all on your own. And also just to talk to someone. There was a lady that we work with which actually kind of really put it into perspective, and she said she only started feeling better when she got out what was inside, and that was the feelings that she had about her circumstances. So I think that's just as much of a medicine than anything else. It's just to start that conversation. There's so many also helplines as well that you can call up anonymously to be able to chat through what you're going through, or perhaps what you're feeling about the circumstances you find yourself in, but also reach out on our contact page as well, contact us page.
Brilliant. What can we look forward to in 2021 from Cathartic?
So we have got loads of new programs starting, which is awesome. So they'll be all listed on our website. We are also going to be working across Hertfordshire in schools with young people in different circumstances.
We have a publication of a book which we've been compiling through lockdown, which we've encouraged not only our service users, but people were beyond that through our website, and I think we did a little Facebook post as well, but inviting people to submit artwork of any description, paintings, drawings, poetry, cooking, sewing, anything
creative,
asking them to contribute. And with the idea is that the book is going to be sold, and the proceeds of the book will be going to charities who have suffered through the lockdown. We've been very fortunate, haven't we, that Watford Council have offered to sort the funding for the book,
to publish it
publish it.
But there's going to be an exhibition as well, and the exhibition is going to be online, but also in Watford, venue TBC. Obviously, we're looking at government, how the government guidelines progress. But we also are going to be working with an artist who is going to be creating the COVID-19 memorial in Watford as well. So Cathartic and our service users will be working with the artist that will be creating the memorial, which is a real honour for us.
And the other thing is we've got the Hertfordshire Film Festival too.
When I said we're working in schools, we're actually working in schools to do filmmaking. So we're going to be doing filmmaking sessions, and those submissions that are made are going to be entered into the Hertfordshire Film Festival, which is super exciting.
Hats off to you ladies for the amazing work that you've been doing. I just want to take the time to say thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And we just want to do a shout out to our amazing service users, because that's why we're here. We feel very, very lucky that we've said we have the best job in the whole world.
We actually do.
We love them.
The very best job in the world.
Thank you so much. This is my heart for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Orlando.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Have a great day, and I look out again to seeing all the amazing things that you're doing in 2021.
Thank you
so
very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.